and gentlemen, good morning. Today we are traveling 2,512 miles from Jerusalem to Mumbai, India, where we are meeting Ralphy Jihrad. Good morning, Ralphy. How are you doing?
Good morning, Rabbi Oni. We are fine, and I'm happy to participate in your series.
We are delighted to meet you. And firstly, if you could tell me, how long have you and your family been living in India? How many generations?
So my family, as per the legend, has arrived from the part of northern Israel, which is Golan, to the port of Ophir, which is near Mumbai, and we lived in India from 175 BC. But I am able to trace my family to the 17th century.
Wow, wow. So we're speaking to the authentic Indian Jew. You've been living there for many, many centuries with your family and your ancestors. What's it like to live in India in the 21st century for a Jewish person?
In 21st century, we feel we are living in an ancient land, but connected to the whole world Jewry because of the communication, and the distances have become very closer. We are feeling very close to Israel, particularly after 1992. Due to full diplomatic ties, we feel we are one with Israel and the Jewish diaspora. So it's really, you are living in India, but you're connected to the whole Jewish world.
That's amazing. And tell me a little bit about the community. How many Jews do you have? How many synagogues do you have? What's the demographics like?
So in India, the community, before Israel was established and before India became independent, we were 35,000 Jewish community members of Indian origin. That included the Bene Israels, the Baghdadis, and the Cochinis. We call it as the BBC Jews of India. And now we have only 10% of this community left, which means about 3,500 Jews, because over the last 72 years, nearly 33,000 Jews have migrated to Israel, apart from several who have gone to Australia, England, and America, and Canada.
It's a very beautiful country, I understand. What's the culture like, and how does the culture, the Indian culture and traditions, play a part in the Jewish customs and traditions?
So, first of all, this Indian Jewish community is very unique, as it has a blend of values from the Jewish traditions and the Indian traditions. Luckily for us, the lunar calendar is both used by the Jewish community and the Indian community. So we have many festivals, many good days are all cyclically on similar times. So there is no conflict as far as the calendar of activities is concerned. Their festival also may have the similar significance as our festivals. Just in order for us to feel comfortable, we maintain Jewish traditions in our own homes, completely as per our wishes and our traditions, and no one in India disturbs you from observing your religious activities.
And if I was to come to India, and spend Shabbat at the Jihrad family and sit at your Shabbat table, what traditional Indian foods might I find?
First of all, you're welcome to come and join us. And we have had many guests from all around the world, including the Chief Rabbi of England,
wow,
Rabbi Ephraim Mavis, and his lovely family has visited us as our guest in India. And we were able to take them to Delhi, Calcutta, Bombay, and Kochi.
Incredible.
We will be able to offer you many items, starting with Indian curry chicken, Indian curry rice, Indian curry with fish,
wow,
and many other types of patties and kubbe and vegetables. And of course, we have many types of desserts. Generally, soup is not a part of the tradition, but there are many vegetarian soups or chicken soups that we make without matzah ball.
Sounds amazing. I can't wait to come. And tell me something, in terms of like children and Jewish education, what type of infrastructure do you have in place for school systems in India?
We have 3 Jewish schools in India. But due to the demographic change of the community where it was staying earlier, these schools are located in those locations where community was highly intensely located. Now the community is gone to most suburb areas and the schools have still remained where they were. This has resulted into less number of Jewish children or almost no children from Jewish community in these schools. So due to which we have Sunday classes. For example, our own children studied in a regular English medium school, which was of very good standard. And they went on a Sunday school classes as well as studied in the home. And they are now able to read Torah and they can explain Parasha, they can speak Hebrew in a fluent way.
Amazing. You know, it's an incredible thing. I find it very inspiring speaking to you on the other side of the world in India. And we have such a common heritage of our Torah, of our Chumash, of our Siddur. Although we have different customs and traditions, Ashkenazi, Sephardi, we still, when it comes to the core values, come from such a similar heritage. And I find that quite inspiring. I'm interested to know, do you have any really unique customs to the Indian Jewish community?
So we have a few unique traditions and customs in our community. In fact, I have been able to publish a book called The Bene Israels of India, Traditions and Customs. It's an encyclopedia, very interesting, and it has listed some of them. So I'll tell you. One of them, which is very unique, and I think the whole Jewish world now recognizes this custom. It's called the Malida ceremony, also called the Eliyahu Nabi prayer ceremony. It's the most unique to the community in India. And it is generally sung, or the prayer is done, or the Malida ceremony is conducted on happy occasion like birth of a child, doesn't matter, boy or a girl, bar mitzvah, bat mitzvah, weddings, buying a new house, entering a new job, and any other happy occasions, including if you took a vow and you prayed that, okay, let my mother be all right, then you go and thank Hashem by doing this prayer. And this includes, pich piche ores, some few almonds and nuts, and then 5 types of fruits and flowers as offering on the table, and you read the Eliyahu Nabi prayer. This, if you get the invitation in the community, you or one member of your family will always attend. You never refuse an invitation to attend a Malida prayer ceremony. And recently, even the whole of state of Israel recognized this as one of the most recognized tradition of the Jewish community in India.
Wow. And so you see, that's incredible. So you sing a song at the time as well. What's the song that you sing? I want to hear it.
Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hanavi, Bimhera Yabo Elenu Imashia Ben David.
Amazing.
This song, you can ask any child of age 4 and above, and they will sing it for you from beginning to the end.
That is unbelievable. That is such an exciting, interesting custom. Let me ask you this question. Obviously, in every part of the Jewish world, we are concerned with anti-Semitism. We all remember the terrible, tragic events of 2008, where Rabbi Gavriel and Rivka Holtzberg were tragically murdered in Mumbai, India. Can you just tell me a little bit what's the relationship like in terms of anti-Semitism, terrorism, and safety for the Jewish community in India?
So first of all, Rabbi Gabriel treated me like his Indian father, and I treated him like my own son. We had such a close relationship, and we used to pray from Sunday till Friday morning, every morning, Shaharit. I used to pick him up, go to my synagogue, pray, and return him back to the home, and I used to go to work. I did this until he was alive. Then Shabbat, we used to pray again together in another synagogue. So the beauty was we used to meet every day. And my association with him was more than father and son. We used to speak 3-4 times a day. We did so many things. We built a mikveh in my synagogue together. he actually built it. I helped him to facilitate it. So my wife also, Yael, had a very close relationship with his wife, Rifka. They were friends together. And so we really had strong association now, even with his parents and his in-laws, and we keep in touch with his son, Moshe. As far as the attack was concerned, it was not on the Indian Jews at all. It was an unfortunate attack, and they identified Chabad Center as the Israel Center. No local community was anywhere targeted, neither of any of our synagogues, but unfortunately the Chabad Center was targeted as a place where the terrorists came and then destroyed the things.
And nowadays, in terms of safety and security, is it a safe place, India, to be in Mumbai?
So India is always safe from the point of view of local community. There is no problem. But the challenge is when some international terrorists enter and they create some bomb attacks or something like that with some bigger agenda and some global enmity or anything of that sort, then it does affect. But local people are very peaceful by nature. They will not disturb anyone else unless something is a very major issue. So there is no problem for Jews to be openly walking in the streets with their kippas on or their tzitzit on, or walking and identifying themselves as Jews in a public or in meeting or in business. There is no problem. In fact, you will be happy to know, Rabbi Yoni, that India is one of the only country in the world where there is no anti-Semitism.
Really?
It's
Wow.
the most beautiful environment to live as a Jew. What is challenging is that our own numbers have dwindled. In fact, many people, when around the world they come and see how we live in a reasonably comfortable way, they say, why did those Jews leave to Israel? I say, they left because of Zionism. They left because of their love for the land, Holy Land. They did not leave because of any economic or other parameters. They left willingly. Nobody asked them to leave. And their neighbors also miss them. Yes.
Absolutely. Well, that at least is a very positive reason to leave because of Zionism and a love of Israel. I know from family and friends that have visited India, there's quite a split between wealth and poverty. So there are people who are affluent and successful, and there's also a great deal of poverty as well. What's that like in terms of how does that affect the Jewish community?
So basically, India is a country of contrast. As you could realize that there are two rich people who live like princes and kings and maharajas style, and there are people who don't have basic needs, and this happens side by side. So for such a kind of environment, the Jewish community is fortunately is either in the middle class or in the upper class, and they have had some members of the community who were in lower class or poverty, below poverty. But the Jewish community, as you can understand, is very pro helping each other. So they brought such people out of their poverty and sent them to either Israel or made them stay in a comfortable manner. We give such members of the community who do have little less means than needed assistance from our synagogues and our foundation, and make sure that our fellow Jews are able to have proper food as well as medical assistance whenever they require on a regular basis, on a monthly basis.
If I was to ask you in one sentence, what does it mean to you to be a Jew? How would you respond in one sentence?
To be a Jew in India is to ensure that we follow our religious practices completely without diluting them for any local reasons.
Ralphy Jihrad, thank you very much. It's been an absolute pleasure.
So I say namaste and shalom from India to all my fellow Jews around the world. Namaste.
Namaste.
Shalom.
All the best. Shalom. Shalom.